We'll now move into our innovation spotlight session. These next several presentations are meant to be short in time, but high in impact. So to kick it off, please help me welcome Paul Henry, Director of Operations at Donaldson, Australasia. Paul's presentation will focus on how investment in local production is empowering miners and strengthening capabilities across our region. Please welcome Paul.
Thank you. In case you missed it, my name is Paul Henry. I'm the Director of Operations for Donaldson. I cover Australia, New Zealand and Southeast Asia. I have 8 distribution centres and 2 manufacturing plants across the region. I employ around about 1,000 employees across that region. Today I'm just going to focus on the Australian side of that business, but before we do, I'm just going to give a brief history on Donaldson and the products that we use. Okay, so in 1915, Frank Donaldson was working for a tractor manufacturing company. At the time, they were selling tractors into dusty environments. Some of those tractors were actually requiring rebuilds after a number of days. So Frank sort of looked at this and saw an opportunity and developed the world's first air filter for a motor. Essentially, that was the start of Donaldson filtration. These days, we don't just play in that engine space. We have a diverse portfolio of products across all sorts of different aspects of life. So we do a lot in vaccine manufacturing, some pharmaceutical stuff, and recently we've been growing meats and proteins and things like that in labs and starting to commercialise that. Excuse me. We have our food and beverage department. So chances are, if you've eaten something or drunk something that was processed today, it's quite possible that it was manufactured using a Donaldson filter. Okay, we have our micro-venting department. So if you've got an iPhone, Samsung Galaxy, a laptop, a computer of any sort, chances are we've actually manufactured the vent for it. Even things like hearing aids, colostomy bags and that sort of stuff, if it needs to vent or it needs to breathe, we potentially manufactured the filter that's in that. We also have a membrane business that is used to filter quite complex chemicals and that sort of stuff, including things like hydrogen fuel cells. We have an industrial department. So if you're manufacturing something and you've got off-gassing or you're creating dusts and that sort of stuff, we potentially have a solution that can help you out. We filter the air that goes into gas turbine power generation as well. So as you can see, we're getting more and more complex, yeah? We've got an industrial hydraulics department. A lot of heavy industry relies very heavily on industrial hydraulics. As a result of that, we've got a system that we can kidney loop in and start to filter those oils to expand the usable life of the oil and the equipment that it's operating. Okay, the part that's probably more relevant to you guys is our mobile solutions department. This is where I spend at least 90% of my day, and this covers things like agriculture, transport, construction, and mining. We have liquid filters that include fuel and lube, and we also have air filters that play in this space. We are aligned with the top OEs globally, so we are a tier 1 level quality company. This is our Wyong facility on site. We've got about 16,000 square metres of distribution centre and about 8,000 square metres of manufacturing. In our distribution centre, we have around about 13,000 pallet locations, about 4,000 small bin locations. We ship 8,000 SKUs or thereabouts. We ship around about 2,000 order lines per day to 500 different deliveries all around Australia. We're moving around about 50 B doubles worth of filters a week out of this facility. That's a lot of filters, yeah. We offer a service whereby most of our stock orders will leave within 48 hours. However, if you've got something that you need more urgently than that, if you ring us up and order it before 2 o'clock today, we will deliver it or ship it out same day. If there's an extreme emergency where you've got a vehicle off-road or a machine that's critical and it's down, we'll extend that up to 4 o'clock today and still ship it to you. We manufacture more than 50% of all of the products that leave our facility here in Wyong on the Central Coast, and we're very proud of the fact that we employ Australians in Australia. Some of the advantages, or the part of it that it makes sense for you guys is, you know, we're able to shorten our lead times. We don't have to bring it in from overseas and that sort of stuff. Security of supply. We talked about supply chains and how important it is to have that security of supply. We've got really high fill rates on our A and B class items. We're, you know, in excess of 98% fill rate. We can actually tailor products and design products that are specific and unique to Australia for the environments that we're seeing in Australia. For example, a mine site in Australia is much more dusty than, say, a mine site in Europe and so on. Some of the things that we have the ability to do, so we've got access to a large array of different media grades. So this is the actual paper that's in the filters and stuff like that. So we can design specific filters for very unique situations and that sort of stuff. So we have the ability to manufacture them on site and have access to a very extremely large array of different medias that we can use. So it's quite unique. We can increase the service life of the vehicles and the duration between servicing those, which means greater uptime, less downtime and so on. Recently, we've introduced our PowerCore 4x4 product range. This was mainly around, or initially around, the Land Cruiser 200 series product, where it was a known dusting issue. We've extended that to the Hilux range. There's Hiluxes all over mine sites around Australia. If you've got a problem with the engines in those Hiluxes wearing out prematurely, talk to your territory manager. We've got a solution for you. Recently, we've introduced a Manhattan warehouse management system on site. So this gives us net new functionality around license plating, you know, speed to picking and pick accuracy improvements. So we listened to the voice of the customer, we heard what you guys wanted, we've improved our systems, and we're constantly evolving. We are very proud of our facility. We'd love to show you around. If you have any interest in coming and having a look around our facility, scan the QR code, find myself or Liam walking around today, and we'd be happy to organise that for you and welcome you on site. That's it. Thank you.